Senator, if I advised you to swim in a lake that I knew there to be alligators in, wouldn't you want me to tell you there were alligators in it?
In a fiery, no-holds-barred monologue, Stephen Colbert obliterates GOP Senator John Barrasso, bellowing, "Then why did you vote for the anti-vax guy?" as the crowd erupts, exposing a jaw-dropping betrayal at a chaotic Senate hearing. When RFK Jr. admits to firing a CDC director for being untrustworthy, Colbert's razor-sharp comeback sets the internet ablaze. A Capitol Hill circus meets Colbert's comedy firestorm. Picture a tense Senate Finance Committee hearing on September 4th, 2025, where Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a lightning rod of controversy, faces a barrage of questions about President Donald Trump's 2026 healthcare agenda. The room is charged, cameras rolling, but the real explosion happens later that night on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. With his trademark wit and a glint of righteous fury, Colbert unleashes a monologue that's less comedy routine and more courtroom indictment. He zeroes in on GOP Senator John Barrasso, a Wyoming doctor-turned-politician who voted to confirm RFK Jr., a notorious vaccine skeptic, only to later declare his love for vaccines. This is Wyoming Republican Senator and physician John Barrasso, who this year voted to confirm Kennedy, Colbert says, his voice thick with sarcasm as he cues up a clip from a hearing. In it, Barrasso states, "I support vaccines. I'm a doctor. Vaccines work." The audience holds its breath, sensing the setup. Colbert leans into the camera, his eyes blazing with incredulity, and delivers the line that's already a viral sensation. "Then why did you vote for the anti-vax guy?" The studio erupts in cheers, and X explodes with reactions, turning the moment into a cultural firestorm. This isn't just late-night comedy. It's a blistering exposé of political hypocrisy, with RFK Jr.'s chaotic leadership as the combustible fuel. So, what went down at this hearing, and why is Colbert's Takedown the hottest topic in America? A cinematic roast packed with drama. The Late Show stage is a battleground, with Colbert in his crisp suit, wielding humor like a surgical scalpel. He replays the Barrasso clip, letting the senator's words hang in the air before pouncing. "Look, I'm no doctor," he quips, pausing for dramatic effect, "but your results are in, and you just tested positive for Bull's teeth." The audience roars, the line instantly iconic. On X, users waste no time. With one posting, "Colbert just diagnosed Barrasso. Face with tears of joy, #BullsTPositive," amassing millions of views. Another clip, showing Colbert's mock outrage, goes viral with the caption, "When you vote for RFK Jr. but act like a vaccine hero, flushed face, #ColbertBurns." The internet is a frenzy of memes, from gifs of Colbert's incredulous stare to mock medical reports diagnosing Barrasso with acute hypocrisy. But Barrasso's flip-flop is just the opening act. Colbert turns his sights on RFK Jr., painting him as a walking contradiction who's turned the Department of Health and Human Services into a circus. Earlier this year, Kennedy fired 17 members of the vaccine advisory panel, Colbert says, his voice rising with mock disbelief as he paces the stage. And yesterday, he said he plans to add 7 new members to that panel. He pauses, letting the absurdity sink in, then lists Kennedy's picks, each one a vocal anti-vax advocate with credentials that crumble under scrutiny. "Why do all those descriptions start out promising and end up crazy?" he asks, his comedic timing impeccable. Then comes the zinger. "We'll also be adding Dr. Bethany Smith, a pulmonologist who believes that asthma can be cured by human sacrifice." The studio erupts in laughter, but the joke carries a biting edge. RFK Jr.'s leadership is a public health nightmare dressed up as reform. The monologue's crescendo comes when Colbert tackles Kennedy's firing of former CDC Director Susan Menares, sacked just weeks into her tenure in late August. He plays a clip of Senator Elizabeth Warren grilling Kennedy at the hearing, demanding to know why Menares was let go. Kennedy's response is a head-scratcher. "I asked her, 'Are you a trustworthy person?' and she said no." Colbert's jaw drops, his face a masterclass in comedic disbelief. "Okay, then why did you believe her?" he fires back, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "She just told you she's untrustworthy." The audience howls, and the clip rockets across X, with one user tweeting, "Colbert just obliterated RFK Jr. with one line. Exploding head #LateShowSavage." It's a moment of pure comedic genius, exposing the absurdity of Kennedy's logic and the GOP's complicity in his rise. The media fallout and social media tsunami. The reaction is instantaneous and relentless. X becomes a digital coliseum, with #ColbertRoast and #RFK Jr. trending as fans and critics duke it out. Stephen Colbert is spitting facts. Barrasso and RFK Jr. got what they deserved. One user posts, sharing the Bulls Tea clip, which racks up over 3 million views in hours. Another pushes back. Colbert's just grandstanding for clout. RFK Jr. is shaking up the system. Face with rolling eyes, #WokeComedy. The monologue dominates morning shows, with the View's Joy Behar weighing in. Colbert hit the nail on the head. Barrasso can't play both sides. You don't back an anti-vaxxer and then claim you love science. Conservative outlets fire back, with one blog slamming Colbert's smug liberal attack and defending Barrasso's tough questioning of Kennedy. Late-night rivals join the fray, with Jimmy Fallon joking. Barrasso's like, "I love vaccines, but I also love keeping my base happy." The combination of Colbert's wit and the hearing's high stakes creates a media maelstrom that shows no signs of slowing. The hearing itself is a lightning rod. RFK Jr.'s firing of 17 vaccine advisors and his plan to stack the panel with anti-vax figures spark headlines like Kennedy's CDC coup and anti-vax agenda unleashed. Public health experts sound the alarm, with one virologist telling MSNBC, "This is a reckless dismantling of science at a time when we need it most." On X, a viral thread dissects Kennedy's appointees, with one user joking, "RFK Jr.'s new panel thinks vaccines cause 5G interference." Man facepalming #SavePublicHealth. The measles outbreak in Texas, linked to declining vaccination rates, adds fuel to the fire, with one epidemiologist warning CNN, Kennedy's policies could cost lives. Colbert's monologue amplifies these concerns, turning a policy debate into a cultural moment that's impossible to ignore. The players, the power, and the stakes. Let's rewind to understand the bigger picture. John Barrasso, a 70-year-old orthopedic surgeon turned senator, is a GOP heavyweight. As Senate Majority Whip, he's a master of political maneuvering, known for his calm, calculated demeanor. But his vote to confirm RFK Jr. as health secretary raised red flags, especially given Kennedy's long history of vaccine skepticism. At the hearing, Barrasso tried to thread the needle, criticizing Kennedy's $500 million cut to mRNA vaccine research and citing the Texas measles outbreak as a consequence.